Hey everyone, welcome back to Film Talk. I'm Eliana Melendez, and I'm joined here today by my lovely co-host, Miss Josie Melendez. And today we're going to do a quick little review of the latest film that is just released across the U.S., Mothering Sunday, directed by Eva Husson and starring Odessa Young and Josh O'Connor, as well as Colin Firth and Olivia Colman. For those of you who don't know what Mothering Sunday is about, it is the story that takes place on Mothering Sunday. Mr. and Mrs. Evan give their housekeeper, Jane Fairchild, played by Odessa Young, the day off as the couple are set to go to their neighbor's house to celebrate his engagement. The truth is, Jane and the neighbor involved, Paul, have been having an affair for many years. It's very steamy. It's a romantic period drama it has sex. It's a sexy romantic period drama. What else can I tell you? What else do you need to know? No, but seriously, quick context. We were very fortunate enough to be able to attend the world premiere of Mothering Sunday last summer at the Festival de Cannes, and we were able to see the director, Eva Husson, as well as part of the cast, Odessa Young and Josh O'Connor. And we also talked about this in our Cannes Festival wrap-up episode that we did afterwards. So definitely, if you want to know our thoughts on what we saw at Cannes last year, definitely go check that out. I'll link it down below. But we're just going to go a little bit more in depth now that the movie is finally out in theaters right now across the U.S., and just kind of remind y'all that this is one of the most sensual, beautifully directed movies of 2021 that is so specifically feminine and just, ardently portrays the female gaze both visually and narratively. So we're just going to give a quick little rundown of our first impressions of the film and then dive a little bit deeper into it of what we liked specifically. Josie, what were your first impressions? I think this was your number one from Cannes last year, actually, if I recall correctly.
No, I think Glam ended up being my number one. I don't remember.
It was your top three in the episode when we had the round table.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was definitely up there because I think Tu Se Bien Pase was above Mothering Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, but I did like Mothering Sunday. Again, I called Eva Husson a class act in directing, and it is truly just a very delightful visual spectacle. Just every frame, every camera movement, everything has an intention. I'm just laughing because I remember someone talking about the other day that when people start talking about cinematography, it's like, when I don't know what else to say, the cinematography. But honestly, the cinematography of the film was really nice because she definitely wanted to tell a story through the visuals more so than the narrative. And yes, that's not to say the narrative wasn't good, but I love how there was visual storytelling as well as the actual structure of just the three acts in general and the characters and how they interacted with each other and how we started seeing these two stories converge and just finding out what was really going on, because you're along for the ride and you're not really in the dark, but there are secrets and there are like scandals that are being held from you that you eventually do find out, and everything is like the bigger picture of it all. But yeah, you really are along for the ride. And yeah, in general, great performances, great directing, and very interesting story to behold. Though I will say that one of the things that at least I was critical about, was that there are definitely moments where you think the film is going to end and it keeps going. So that would be the only thing that it wasn't clear when to end the story. Though I did like the ending and I love how emotive it was and everything. I just feel like that was the only thing I would nitpick at.
Right, because it is well balanced in terms of, it's not because it is an adaptation of a novella. I believe of the same title, and it definitely feels that way. Like, you can tell that this is a book adaptation. It feels very novel-like, even the way that Eva Husson directed it visually. It feels like you are genuinely going through the stream of consciousness of an author as she's trying to remember her life and these moments in her life and write about them. It is a film that is very heavily focused on visual storytelling, and films that come to mind that are comparable in this certain style are, you know, things like Spencer and Drive My Car. If you enjoyed those films, and they're like very, very nuanced films that, you know, they show and they don't tell, they can be a little bit slow at times, but if you power through them, you will enjoy a very, very well made, beautifully, artfully crafted film. You're gonna like Mothering Sunday. Like, this is honestly very much, it's not necessarily a movie for like every cinephile, every movie lover, but if you like period dramas, if you like romantic dramas, and you like things that are just super pleasing to the eye and very aesthetically driven, Mothering Sunday is the movie for you. Like, if you're a Pride and Prejudice little Mothering Sunday is for you. But if you enjoy the likes of Pride and Prejudice, if you like Bridgerton, this is gonna be like your movie. Just better. Just quite honestly, just well made, just a lot more, you know, better made. I'm not hating on Pride and Prejudice and Bridgerton, but you get it. There's a woman behind the camera here.
No, but hey, do not disrespect our man Joe Wright.
He's an ally. Joe Wright's an ally.
Yeah, no, I most definitely agree. Again, as you pointed out, is one of my favorites is Can, and it's just a well-made film, and it's just a testament to visual feminine storytelling and just being able to have that touch of femininity in every frame, especially again with the female gaze, just the way that every man is framed specifically, and the way that they are viewed either as a father figure, or as a potential lover. So there's also that. I did like that.
It's
duality.
very delicate with its perspective in that sense, because there is like a considerable amount of nudity in parts of the film, but it's never vulgar. It's never a vulgar lens that we see portrayed throughout. It's very sincere. It's very vulnerable in terms of sensuality, both female and masculine sensuality, and just that intimacy that is shared throughout like the process of before, after, during sex. And it's really nice. It's really nice to see this portrayed in media.
Yeah, it's very much an exquisite, delicate, and careful film that just takes on storytelling with, how would you say, like, so much, it's careful. There's that sincerity that you mentioned, and just being able to like frame these people as people. Like, they don't feel as characters in a story. You very much feel like you're a part of the setting and a part of this drama, essentially. And just also the way that Husson is able to just frame everything like a painting of sorts, especially one scene where the character is asked, like, are you gonna pull an Ophelia? It just looks like a painting.
That was a good scene, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of one of my favorite bits of the entire like festival last year. So are you gonna pull an affiliate? That's very quotable. But yeah, it does, it's so good. It's just, there's a lot of things that you can appreciate from this film. I was able to rewatch it recently before it came out, and I noticed new details. If you guys haven't seen, I was able to sit down with the director herself, Eva Husson, last week, so definitely go check that out on the channel. She goes in to talk about how the film is about memory, it's about love, grief, and loss, and just everything in between of the human experience from a feminine perspective. And she just brought so many wonderful, like, just really opened my eyes to the care that went into this film and into this story. And I just honestly, like, I genuinely, this is not to be, you know, super biased because we have these opportunities, but I genuinely, like, Eva Husson is a director that I am officially now looking out for when she eventually makes another feature because
Yeah.
you can tell that she's probably gonna, like, if you see a Husson flick is gonna come out, and I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a banger. That's probably 99% sure it's gonna be a banger. It may not be your cup of tea because it's, though she does portray very universal experiences, it's not in a very, how do I describe it? It's not the most Western way of storytelling. We'll keep it at that. So yeah, any final thoughts that you would like to share?
It's a charming film. I really enjoyed how it starts off, of course, with her relationship with these men, these romantic relationships, because, of course, you have to reel in the people. But then it goes, of course, into her parental relationship with Colin Firth as a character, and then it drives you into her coming into her own as a person. I mean, Olivia Colman's character telling her that she has nothing, therefore she has nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's where she builds up. So we see her grow as a person, as a human, and as a woman. So I think that was my favorite part of the story, because while the ending drags a little bit in terms of you feeling like it's going to end now and then it doesn't. And to conclude, my favorite part of this is, again, how you see her come into her own and become not only like a woman, but a person, and just you see her fulfilled with all her accomplishments. So yes, great movie all around.
Yeah, good movie. And to kind of bounce off of that in this conclusion, I love how it is a period romantic drama that's also at the same time a multi-stage coming of age, because we kind of never stop learning. We're like constantly evolving and coming of age at different stages in our lives, and we get to see that throughout the film with Odessa Young's character, Jane Fairchild. And it's just, it's definitely a really good movie to watch if you want to feel reflective on life, if you want to have like a very vibey existential moment, confrontation rather than crisis, because it's not a crisis per se. It's actually quite a hopeful film. It's rather optimistic. But I think it's a lovely film, and if it's playing at a theater near you, I highly recommend if you go watch it. If you like this review and want to follow us on social media and keep up with our other reviews and our podcast, Filmme Talk, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow at Filmme Talk on Twitter and TikTok. And where can they find you, Josie?
You can find me at the Josie Marie on Twitter and Letterboxd.
And you can also find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Captain Melendez. And be sure to turn on notifications for Filmme Talk everywhere that you follow us. And stay tuned for more reviews and podcast episodes and interviews. And honestly, bottom of my heart, really, really fun to talk to Eva Husson last week. So be sure to check out that interview. Watch it after the movie, because it is like just honestly just really enriching to listen to after you've watched the movie.
Watch the movie, watch the interview, go back and watch the movie again.
Yes, it's definitely something you can get something new out of every time that you watch it. So if you're into it, highly recommend. I think that's all for today. Be sure to stay tuned, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye.